Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Stephania. Thank you so much for finding me here. I hope you're all having a beautiful day, beautiful week, and a beautiful end to the year 2025. If you're new to my channel, I'm an intuitive spiritual medium and teacher, and I am jumping on here every week to share my connection with spirit with all of you, to help you come back home to the spirit and the essence and the source and power of who you are. And so it is. And so with intention, we just let us just drop in, take a deep breath, set the intention, being open to receive divine guidance, divine revelation, divine support, divine healing, as we welcome in the connection to the holy, divine, glorious spirit and the angels of love and light working through us for our highest and greatest good. And so it is. So one of the things I was just getting now as I was opening the energy for our collective session was this message about activation. So now, if you didn't take a breath to allow yourself to receive, go back and start the video again, because there was a very specific message I got as I was in that prayer for us opening the energy, and I was feeling the presence of Archangel Michael saying that through me. And by the way, you know what, I'll explain that after what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say is that was an activation. So when we connect and we open our heart, we open our minds, we open ourselves with intention to connect with the divine Holy Spirit that governs us, that guides us, our soul, and we set the intention to connect to the spiritual angels and our guides that are helping us on the other side, there is an activation that occurs. It's sort of like setting the intention to do anything. There's an activation. So for example, if you want to apply for a new job, you're not going to sit in the house and wait for the job to come to you. You're going to take some action on the human level to activate, to get things flowing. If you want to meet a soulmate, you know, you're not going to sit in bed and wait for their soulmate to fly through the front window. You got to you got to activate some action. You got to get it, you got to get out there and activate the energy, right? So as I was opening there just now, the prayer and intention that in this collective session we co-collaborate with spirit, we're activating that which governs us, which is the holy energy, which is the divine, which is the source and creation of all it is. So in that activation, you're just saying, yes, I'm open to receiving. And also, I want to say too, and I always say this to the people that I work with one-on-one. So, if I'm in session with you and I'm talking, because I'm connecting to spirit. So many years I've been doing this work. When I drop in and I'm open, the channel is open so I can hear the messages. I'm divinely guided through my psychic third eye. I'll be saying something, but that part of me I'm not speaking from the surface level of my thinking. I'm in this energy of channeling, right? And so that energy is activating for the client that I'm working with, and there is activation in the energy. And that means that if you're open to receiving, I mean, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people over the years, thousands maybe, and many people there's been activation. They've gone on to live their highest timeline, to something's activated, and it's activated through me, not because of me, but through me, through the energy and the connection to spirit. So that there was an activation that just occurred there. So I hope you felt that. Just open to receive the glorious insight, divine revelation, and healing. Keep in mind, I'm not a medical doctor, and the disclaimers are below in the description box. Spiritual teaching and spiritual health is something that most people ignore. actually, let me rephrase that. I want to just focus on our spiritual health, because we've got our spiritual body, our mental body, our emotional body, our physical body. As a human collective race, we are conditioned to focus on the mental body, the emotions, and the physical. But the spiritual is sort of left like, ooh, what's that? Well, the spiritual energy is actually should come first. I always say before anything else, nurturing our spiritual health means cultivating, dropping in, nurturing a spiritual practice. Your daily practice is always your best practice. I always say that. As we come to the end of 2025, I feel, and I don't know, I'm just, again, I'm just dropping in with what I'm getting. I feel like there's this energy around no more jumping on the bandwagon. I'm hearing that. So now that, collectively, I feel we are heavily influenced by trends, by social media, by the media. That came up in last week's video, by the way. And I feel like they're just kind of bringing us that message in a little bit more to just remind you, don't jump on the bandwagon if like everybody else is doing something. There's something about that. Meaning that, if you're thinking about doing something that feels popular right now, the message is hold up, take a breath, set the intention, and there may be another choice. There may be another direction for you to take there. So that's I feel like it's a message for a collective. I don't feel like specifically for one person. I do feel it's going to resonate for sure with somebody. I also feel too, this could connect with what I'm just picking up with about, especially in the United States. I feel like we live in this quick fix society, right? Like, oh, we just want to get things done like that. And we want the quickest way, the fastest way to get it done, and whatever it is, right? And I understand, like, we want our lives to be easier. I get it. But, in terms of things to make my life easier, I will obviously want to create ease in my life as well. But this feels like it's more than that. So this is a message around, I feel like it's don't jump on the bandwagon, and it's don't look for the quick fix, because there's something about the long game or the long vision, or becoming like the giraffe and seeing the big picture here. There's a message here about that. Okay, so, and I also feel too, I'm getting this feeling about intention. Being intentional with your energy each and every day as you move into 2026. Aligning with that intention that is the spirit that drives you, like connecting with that spirit and aligning with your spirit, it gives you the pulsation of higher mind, higher thoughts, higher timeline. In fact, this is one of the things I do in my private sessions, and that is, if I pick up on something, like for example, there was a woman I was working with years ago, and she was going through a divorce. She had a huge stack of bills on her, on her kitchen table, and she was considering giving up on a company that she had started in a business dream because she couldn't see a way through, because there was so much debt. And psychically I saw, no, that's not the path for you. This is the path for you. I saw the highest timeline for her. And so through consistent weekly support and all the work, she was able to jump into the highest timeline and co-create with spirit in the majesty of connecting with intentionally this very successful, very, very successful company. And so that's the thing. When we receive divine downloads, when we receive divine directives, we got to be open and have the courage to follow the intuitive guidance that we receive, whether it's in session with me or within yourself. So the reason I'm sharing, through YouTube, the work here is just simply to help share my gifts as I ask each and every day Spirit to use me for the highest and greatest good. As I drop in, is we're all here to cultivate peace, share that peace with the world, and share our gifts with the world, whatever they are. So I do that with a humble heart. So I hope that you are enjoying the content that I put out here on the channel. Sorry for my wiggle wobbly desk. I think my floor has got a little bit of a swoop or something. Anyway, what else was I writing down here? Oh yeah. Oh, that's what I was just reminded now. When I was meditating on this week's energy, I saw a woman. Now, this doesn't have to be gender specific, but I saw a woman digging a hole. She was like digging this earth, digging this hole, and she was really getting into it, digging this hole and really trudging things up. And I feel like this is a specific message around, as we come to the end of 2025, there is a call from Spirit to let what needs to come up and let it go. Like there could be there for some of you some things, energy that you've been burying very deep within the subconscious, within the emotional body, and holding it in. And so this is a message around bringing that up to the surface, working through it, processing, and then letting it go. And so, easier said than done. We all know, but that's when we're intentionally dropping into our spiritual energy and working on spiritually healing ourselves, that stuff has to be dug up, right? We have to meet it, release it, learn from it, etc. So that's just like the short version of what we might do in session. But point being, you know what I'm saying, there's this feeling about some of you may still be holding on to some deep energy, deep wounds, deep feelings that you're still holding on to, and they're buried, but you're about to dig them up. They're coming up. And also too, that could be through it could be coming up for you. Like it could spontaneously, like the universe could be making things happen in your life in order for you to process and to look at what you need to look at. I know that's happened to me. That happened to me. That's happened to me this year, actually. After my father passed away earlier this year, I was forced through that life-changing moment to look at some deep emotional feelings and wounds that were coming up from that triggered something in me that I was holding on to. And so I really had to work through that. And how do I work through it? Personally, I dove deeper into my meditation practice. I did a lot of writing. I did a lot of painting this year. I reactivated my connection to my art, to my creative energy. And I did a lot of surrendering. In fact, I just letting myself feel more and just cry it out. It ain't called a good cry for nothing. And holding on to energy that I was holding on to. And so it's a really good thing. It's a cathartic thing to allow yourself to process and really reflect upon the journey. Like what are you holding on to? And being honest with yourself about that. That's where that intentional energy really is coming in with Spirit. And I really do feel that this call from Spirit for the collective is for all of us to open to a different way of doing 2026, so we don't go into repeat. That's like very predominant in the collective. It's very hard for people to let go, I find. I'm just looking to make sure I'm recording. Okay. All right. So those are the initial messages that I was getting coming in for us. So let us just see. I want to look at some of these spirit animal messages because I love working with spirit animals. Spirit guides, great angels. Let's just drop in again, opening ourselves to receive divine guidance, divine insight. What is it that we need to let go of? What is it that we need to let go of? Use your mind wisely. Look, I was just saying, intentional, intentional, intentional. This is the big theme, I feel. Using your mind wisely. And this isn't just about the surface level of your thinking. This is the higher mind. So when your intuition speaks to you, it may speak to you differently than how, when your mind is rambling or racing. Your intuition has a different way of communicating with you. This is your higher mind, the cosmic mind of God. What is in the one is in the whole. And when you can, I'm really drawn to the yellow and the light here. Like I just feel this energy is about, it's the magic of spirit. It's the magic of spirit and the magic and the connection to your intuitive mind. When we slow down and we become more intentional, we're connected to that intuitive mind and it guides us, and we know what is right for us. So there's a call from spirit about that. Very, very important. Using your mind wisely, the higher mind, and learning how to listen to that voice, okay? Open to infinite possibility. That's the other thing. I always find spirit is amazing. I've witnessed so many things happen in my life that came out of nowhere, and I'm always like, yes, and that's always just such a magical thing that spirit will do in the final hour, the 11th hour, something amazing happens and you're like, yes, you're open to infinite possibilities. No, and I do feel that, I do get strongly, and I'm really this is the starfish, right? So I'm really drawn to this energy of the star, and I do feel for some of you, don't give up hope. This could be in the final hour, a blessing coming in, because I just feel very drawn to that starfish, that just the magic of the star coming in. Okay, so one more message from our spirit animals. What do we need to know for our highest and greatest good? You'd like to book a private session with me, please check the link below. You want to jump into your highest timeline for 2026. I'm offering those highest timeline sessions for the new year, so that you can drop in, activate, step into your highest timeline of success, happiness, joy. And so it is. Let's keep going. I'm waiting for a jumper. Message for our highest and greatest good. So it is. Ooh, there we go. Be fearless and bold. Be fearless and bold. With intention. Be open to infinite possibilities. Be open. They're all backwards anyway. You know what I'm saying. I'm feeling drawn to these surrender cards. Spirit guides, great angels. What do we need to surrender to? Open for our highest timeline of success, joy, happiness. Surrender to denial. That's a big one. That's a really big one. A lot of people don't know they're in denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. But I also feel too, this surrender denial is something within yourself. So there could be something that you haven't wanted to face within yourself. And I feel I'm connecting in with that message about digging up the earth. Okay, so there's something about that's coming up. And then surrender to divine timing. I love this. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough, according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. That's a hard one, surrendering to divine timing, because we want it now. Remember that quick fix, that message around the quick fix society, that connects with that. Meaning that you surrender to God's timing, okay? Because, this just flew out. A rebirth is assured. I just had to, it was just poking out there. A rebirth is assured. Okay, last message from our angels for our highest and greatest good. what do we need to know in here? Please don't forget to click like, subscribe. It really helps the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do my best to be on here every week for all of you in 2026. Wishing you a blessed, healing, beautiful, new, and glorious year. Message from the angels. Divine timing again. Okay. Surrender to divine timing. That's a message. I feel it's a very specific message for anyone who's really waiting on something, really waiting for something to happen. There's a message about divine timing. Spirit is working behind the scenes for whatever it is that you've been striving for and working for. Let go, let God. Be playful. Be playful. Sorry. Be playful in your energy. Why can't I get the cards right? Be playful in your energy. When we're connected to playfulness, when we let go, we let God, we let flow, when we're connected to that playful energy, that joy, that happiness, the energy that's bubbly, it helps us connect to the open realm of infinite possibilities. Ideas come to us more quickly. When we're connected to our creativity, spontaneous meetings occur. So take a break, let go, be playful, and know that divine timing is working at hand, okay? All right, my loves, have a beautiful week, and I'll speak to you soon. Namaste.